And say a very warm welcome this morning to our meeting on June the 5th, first meeting of the last month of this session. Delighted that we're spending our time with Christian this morning. I'm Mike Kwasniak. I hope you all know me by now, but photographer based in the UK and a member of the NMUG board. Sheeta is with us and will be acting as moderator as usual through the session. Sheeta, was there anything that you'd like to say right now?
Just to welcome everyone. I'm looking forward to this wonderful meeting, and thank you.
Thank you. Eckhart, of course, is with us also. Eckhart, was there anything that you'd like to say?
Well, I would like to say basically the same thing that Sheila just mentioned, that I'm welcoming everyone. I'm looking forward to an exciting meeting, and I'm really glad that we exist the way we are. And I'm also looking forward to a pause on for the months of July and August. And incidentally, that may interest you. Our forefathers who created our basic law, our bylaws, they put in there in a special paragraph that we need to pause for 2 months every year. And they selected the months of July and August. So by law, we are forced to shut down for a couple of months. I find that very interesting. But I think we need it in any event. We need from time to time. We need to rest and recharge. Again, we're not there yet. We have a few more meetings, and I'm looking forward to this one in particular. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just a little reminder that, as usual, everything that you need to know about NMUG can be found on our naplesmug.com website. And I've forgotten to do it earlier today, but I'll do it during the meeting. If you want to post anything at all about today's meeting, please find the relevant thread on the message board. I'll post it within the next 15 minutes. So should you have comments, questions, or anything else, please use the thread for today's meeting. That would be great, just to keep everything tidy and easy to find. As usual, my routine announcements, a further reminder that our beginners classes are growing ever closer. I say this every time, and we still get messages on the message board from people saying, where do I register? You do not need to register. Please do not try and register. The beginners courses are free to everybody, all of our members. So as long as you are a member of NMUG, you can access the Zoom link on our website, and the Zoom link will also appear in the post by email a day or two ahead of the meeting. So Dan is taking these two sessions. The 2-hour session on Saturday, June the 15th, is devoted to the Mac, and the 2-hour session on June the 22nd, the following weekend, is dedicated to iPad OS. Can't wait. It's been a long time since we ran anything for beginners, so we expect healthy numbers. I'm saying this at the moment. It appears that nobody's brought any guests this week, which is disappointing, but we welcome guests. We would love you to bring friends or family who might be interested in joining NMUG. You're very, oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I meant to remove that from the office and forgot. Yes, we welcome guests at all of our meetings, and you're very welcome to share the links to our Wednesday meetings. And we hope, obviously, that newcomers will come along, like what they see, and join us for the future. Quick note about next season. We're going to change the way that we organize our Zoom sessions on Wednesdays, and we're going to have a separate, different Zoom link for each and every meeting. So it's really important to remember that, just in case you've been copying and pasting the current Zoom link into a calendar or something like that, because they simply won't work. The new links for each meeting will, of course, be available on the website and via the email that Dan will post out to you a few days ahead of each meeting. That's about me done, apart from mentioning that Jeff Gavitt is with us next week. Actually, this is very hot off the press, because I think Worldwide Developers Conference is Monday. Is that right, Sheeta?
Yes.
Yep. So it's just 2 days after the actual event, and Jeff will be discussing all of the big announcements that Apple will be making about their new operating systems and possibly about new hardware. We never know, because nobody does. But that's next week's meeting. And today it gives me very great pleasure to welcome Christian back to join us. As Sheeta was saying earlier, Christian, you're one of our favorite speakers because you're fun to listen to. You speak plain English that everyone can understand, and we welcome you. And with that, I'm just going to stop my share so that you can take over the screen. It's all yours.
Okay. Well, in your write-up there, you said something about that we might make people gasp that they didn't know their Mac could do that. Well, did you know that my very, very first book was called Your Mac Can Do That? And it's still available at garage sales near you. It's a long time ago. We're talking about, I think that was 1991. So there's a lot of nostalgia in it. There's nothing's going to help you too much right now. So yeah, Your Mac Can Do That. Good book. All right. Well, today I'm really looking forward to our talk. And since this is the last time I'm going to see you, from this side of things, where I'm helping you, hope to send you off into the summer with a lot of newfound power. All right. So why don't we just start? I am going to start by sharing my screen. I hope this works. Here we go. All right, so let's see what happens here. Good. All right, so it looks like everything's working. All right, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about a talk called Mac Tips that will help you every day, and it'll especially help you every day if you actually use your Mac every day. So you get your money, double your money back if you don't use it every day. Okay, so let's look at our topics. Got to know the topics. So we're going to talk about things that you do use every day, and hopefully you'll be better at using them. And there's a lot of things we could talk about. We're going to talk about just the most commonly used things, and one of them is Mail. Another one is Safari. Another one is Messages. And then one of my favorite topics really is just moving around. You're shuffling windows around, bringing the thing that you want to the front. We waste a lot of time just moving things around, trying to find the thing we're trying to use. So we're going to get better at that today. There's even some settings that make things better. And when you buy the Mac out of the box, you don't get a book with it. It just is what it is, and a lot of these settings are set for you. And in my opinion, they're set wrong. So we're going to set them right. So that's what we're going to do. And in fact, what we're going to do here's our topics in order, and we are going to go through them backwards, or at least we're going to jump around. We're going to start with settings. So settings. What do we know? Well, first I want to talk about trackpad settings. Whether you're using the built-in trackpad on a MacBook Pro, or you're using an external trackpad like this one, which I'm using today, or you're maybe using an older trackpad like this guy, this silver one. It can take some getting used to, because a lot of times things are set up wrong. So let's look here at the trackpad settings. So in the trackpad, in fact, I can even show you live here. Trackpad settings are way down here at the bottom. And you may notice that I've turned off just about everything except for this tap to click. And the one thing I like tap to click because it means that you can click something by tapping instead of pressing. I'm going to show you here in my handout. I'm going to show you, this is the one, this force click and haptic feedback. This is the one that is usually turned on. It is turned on by default. And when I show people what it's like when it's off, they all want to shake my hand or maybe even more. So what is that about? That's the one where when you try to click on your trackpad, it sort of feels like it falls off, and you click again. And there's not a lot of features that make that this makes better. So in my opinion, you should turn this one off. In fact, my basic opinion here is turn almost everything off and just let the trackpad be really simple so that things don't happen that you're not expecting. All right. So try turning everything off, maybe leave tap to click on, and see if the trackpad behaves a little more predictably. So there's three sections to the trackpad settings. Besides point and click, then there's scroll and zoom. And here there's this zoom thing that sounds really handy, a 2-finger zoom. That seems like a great, to pinch like you do on an iPhone. But as you will see, this only happens, it only works in a few apps. It doesn't work everywhere. And I'm going to show you how to zoom everywhere. Okay, how to zoom in. And it doesn't matter which app you're using. So even though I've got this turned on here, I rarely use this. And if you are seeing things shrink and grow before your eyes and you're not sure why, it might be because this is turned on. And last but not least, the last section of the trackpad is these more gestures. And for me, these are sort of high-end features. And if you were able to opt into them, if they started off and they told you about them, and then you could decide whether you wanted them, that would be better. So here I'm suggesting you turn them off until you're sure you want them on. And some of these are terrific, and I'm sure there's going to be some very, very high-end users here today who say, oh, I use this one all the time. Yeah, but we've got to